Hi, my name is Ed Deveau, and I want to welcome you all to this preview of the 5th annual Moroccan Festival in the city of Revere. A festival that is organized by Masir, the Moroccan Connections in Revere. And it will be held this coming Saturday, August 14th from 1 to 7 p.m. at the Wayland School Park at 107 Newhall Street. And to tell us more about this festival, it's my great pleasure to have with me Rachid Moukhabir, representing Masir, an organization that has done so much in this community to help low and moderate income families from the Moroccan community as well as the other cultural communities within the city. Rachid, once again, it's always a pleasure to have you with me. And before we get into conversations about the event itself, could you please tell us a little bit more about Masir and the Moroccan community within the city?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me, Ed, as well as for Rev TV for having us all in this great show. So my name is Rachid Moukhabir, one of the Human Rights Commissioners here in the city of Revere. And I'm the founder of Masir, Moroccan American Connections in the city of Revere, that was established in 2016 to empower the Moroccan American community in the city through education, cultural events, leadership, and civic engagement. And you mentioned that we are working now with everyone because of the pandemic. We can't just help Moroccans because this is affecting everyone, and we changed our mission to become inspiring and empowering low to moderate income individuals in the city of Revere through education, cultural event, leadership, and civic engagement initiatives. For the Moroccan community, we don't have like clear statistics here in the city of Revere because when we do the census, people, they don't write Moroccans. Some of them, they identify themselves as white, black, Africans, but we don't have like an icon that says Moroccan. Probably that's a good idea to have it in the future so we can document the number of Moroccans here in the city of Revere. However, we get our statistics from Revere Public Schools. For example, in 2017, two Beachmont teachers, Irene and Chelsea, did statistics in Beachmont schools, and they found that more than 20% of their kids are from Moroccan descent. Wow. And they applied for a grant. That was an awesome study that they did. They applied for a grant, and it was published in the Revere Journal. So they applied for a grant, and they went to Morocco to learn about the culture so they can include the aspects of the Moroccan culture into their curriculum to make these Moroccans feel home.
That's fantastic, you know, and this is a subject for another time, but yeah, we do need to do a lot more work in identifying the Latino community, the Middle Eastern community, all of those communities, because as you pointed out in the census, one of the great falls is Middle Eastern people, Moroccan people are
singular,
white.
Yeah. Exactly, exactly, yeah.
Well, so tell us a little bit about Masir and what Masir is doing.
So Masir, it started as a cultural, but always our focus since the beginning was culture and education. So we were doing like a lot of kids activities. We stopped like when the pandemic hit. Then we switched all of our gears and we started making masks for the city of Revere during the pandemic, and we made 25,000 masks for the city. Once we identified the need, nobody is making masks for us. We stepped up and we said we can do it. We built the process. Everybody is scared. How can we do this? We built a nice process, and I want to thank all the volunteers. Masir put like 1,500 out of their budget at that time, and the 1,500 became 45,000. Yeah. So that's how much money we spent in. Yeah. Exactly, that's how much money we spent on those masks, and we made 25,000, probably like 13,000 for the city of Revere, then 12,000 for Revere Public Schools. That was an awesome project that kept us going. Then we started in the city of Revere talking about workforce development. What are we gonna do with those people that are out of jobs? Then we stepped up, we built a nice program called the 8-week tech support job program. And we have been helping people get jobs as help desk, IT support specialist, and maybe computer repair technicians. These are the titles that our students qualify for them, apply for those jobs, and they get those jobs. Those jobs are, most of the individuals will be making between 40 and 60,000 once they graduate. We are talking about 8 weeks. And they can guarantee you, like many of our students get jobs for $35. You know, like it's shocking. You know, like when you work with someone for 8 weeks and they get a job paying $35 an hour, you say, why did they go to college for? You know, like I went to college. I did 4 years in Wentworth. I did two to study electronics. Then I did my MBA in technology management. Then I started making $35,000 a year, like $17, $18. That's how I started, you know. Then, I mean, like if you can help someone get into that level of salary without loans, it's incredible.
Right, and you know, and that points out a thing that I've had conversation with a lot of people recently about the fact that there are many people that come to this country. They come with engineering degrees, science degrees, law degrees, but yet they're not able to use them. They're sweeping floors. They're working in bathrooms only because somehow or other there's that difficulty for us to recognize, acknowledge, or use the talent that's there. And so what you're doing is I think a first step in that direction towards giving people a boost to take what they're bringing here to use us to help us all, to help this country grow.
Exactly, yes. So probably we need to identify, I think we need specialized organizations. I've been doing this for more than a year, teaching IT, and they just figured it out. You know, now we are good at it. You know, like once we say we gotta teach you for 8 weeks and you'll find a job for sure. You know, and the people who are not finding jobs, there are the ones that they still want to enjoy unemployment. Some people that they are lazy, but everybody who wants a job, he can get it definitely around this time. So what I mentioned by specialized organizations, like maybe you could find like an organization that is specialized in finance, an organization that is specialized in tech support as we are doing. Then you can get them like, first of all, you need to teach them the terminology. Any field you want to get in, you want to get into the medical field, you need the medical terminology. You want to get into technology, you want to get that technology verbiage. You want to get that technology terminology, and then that's the start. Because they already got some education back home. You may just help them get like some kind of certifications in here that may take maybe a week or two to get those certifications, because those people that are having bachelor's or master's in a specific field, so that certification, you just have to guide them to tell them this is what you need. Then you help them build their resumes. You want to get them like the questions that they will be asked during the interview, because we don't have those kind of resources elsewhere. Here, or maybe because of the technology, things are changing. At least I didn't have that.
Well, and that's one of the things, and I remember participating with you in the very first group that came through Masir and doing some of the employment interviews. And it was so great, you know, talking with some of them and the preparation that they did.
Lou was one of the Lou was your first mock interview, because I remember was talking about it, and you gave him like a recommendation letter. Thank you so much for doing that.
No, it was great to be involved with that, but it's so great to see the development that they're going through and the skills that they're learning. So getting back to why we're here.
Exactly, yes. It's always the conversson is like that with you, Ed.
For sure. So talking about the festival, tell us about where did the idea come from? What prompted you to do this to begin with?
Well, to be honest with you, Ed, you started talking about the Moroccan community in the city of Riviere. As a Moroccan, I can see that there is a huge number, because I can easily identify them. However, the city or the other people, they wouldn't recognize them, because we don't have any statistics that shows that presence of the Moroccan community in the city of Riviere. So And especially when we saw that article about 20% of the kids in beach mall schools are Moroccan. So I got together with some Moroccan professionals and we start talking, what can we do about that? We are a large number in here, probably something between 10 to 20% of the Riviere population, but we have no people in City Hall. We have no people in city councilors. We have no people in school committee. We have no people in the police department, fire department. We have no presence, you know. And we start talking. We did some kind of brainstorming. We gave a lot of suggestions, and most of those suggestions we were trying them, and the festival was one of them. And that was the awesome idea. That's how the city officials knew that there is a huge Moroccan community because of the first festival that we organized in Shirley Ave in 2017. Then it was like it was an awesome event. They know that there is a huge Moroccan community in here. Then the festival was recognized at the city chamber, at the city hall chamber. We were recognized also by the Chamber of Commerce, by Mayor Arrigo, by the governor, and we started from there. You know, once the city officials, the police knew that there is a huge Moroccan community in the city of Riviere, they made my job so much easy. And they want to thank Mayor Arrigo, the city officials, the police, the fire department for all the support, the license commission for all the support that I got from them to organize this festival. Is not a one-man show. I can assure you. I can assure you this. And I'm the founder of Maser, but I'm not the director of the festival. The director is Salwa Ardab, who is an artist. She's a poet. She's a writer. She's a fashion show designer. Very talented. She is in charge of everything that it's artistic. He's still in charge of the public relations, the government relations, and the grant writing. So those are things that I do for the festival, but the rest is handled by a team of specialists.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up. It was a question I was going to ask later on, but and I was going to say nothing like this happens without a lot of planning and a lot of people support from people that are helping in the planning, but also funding. So you want to talk about the level of the support. Who supports you, and where do you get your funding from?
Well, so the first festival, we want to talk about the first festival or the fifth festival?
You can talk about them all, however you want to do it.
So the first festival was funded by $0. It's just an idea.
There you go.
And people that there are full of potential, people that they are full of love, people that they are proud of their background, but because, to tell you the truth, I got here by the diversity visa. So when I got here, the diversity visa means that they want to increase the diversity in this in this country. So they don't want us to be American 100%. Is that what it is? Because that's the meaning. That's how I understood it. So they want us to be Americans from Moroccan descent. So how may I show that Moroccan descent? So through those activities, and that's what makes us the greatest country in the world, because we are diverse, we have different ideas and stuff like that. So regarding the funding, the first festival was, you know, people getting together. I got the support from the mayor at that time. I got the support from the police. We did it in Shirley Ave.
I think I lent you a couple of tents that time.
Exactly. Thank you, Ed. Did you see how it started?
I remember, right?
Yes,
now that you said
I remember that.
How grassroots it was. Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much.
No.
Thank you for that. Then actually things start getting better. Like when I go look for sponsors, I got something to show them. So I show them the videos from last year, the articles, the pictures. Then people, oh, there is a huge Moroccan community. Then sponsors start interested in being in our festival. We got the support from the East Boston Saving Bank. I started by my bank. Then we got some support from the city councilors. I remember city councilors were helping us. School committee members, they were donating money to us. That's how it started. Then we got support from MGH, from Cambridge Health Alliances. But this year, our biggest sponsor is Revere Cultural Council. So we are getting $11,000 from them.
Good.
And I want to thank all the committee for helping us out. It means the world. You know, like that's $11,000 probably. It relieved a lot of stress from me. So once I started with $11,000. So I was.
Can't think of a better use for cultural council money than for a cultural festival.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of them. I'm very, very grateful for that support. We got the $2,500 from East Boston Neighborhood Health Center. We asked for 500. They said we'll give you 2,500 because we've been in your festival and we know that it's great and you know that you run a good show. We'll give you the 2,500, and also we will get like a couple of tickets, a round trip to Morocco. One is gonna be Boston, Casablanca, and the other one will be New York, Casablanca. One of them is from Tijani Travel and Safari. It's a travel agency operating in New York. Then we got another ticket from the Moroccan national airline. It's called Royal Air Maroc. I got like another $500 from guidance that I want to recognize them in here. Also, I think that's it. And the TND also, they helped us.
Oh,
They are one of our partners.
Yep.
They helped us. But the rest of the exhibitors, we want to help them out because we don't do this for money. We do this to empower our community, to show our culture. We do it because we believe that this is what's gonna unite us.
Yep.
You know, like we are not talking about politics or sport or anything that's gonna divide us. We are talking about food. Who doesn't like food, you know? We're talking about music. We're talking about fun. That's why I think the Moroccan community in the city of Revere is taking the lead because of the idea of honoring, each year we honor a different country. You know, like in 2019.
I saw that, yes.
Yes, in 2019 we honored the country of Algeria. And in 2018 was the country of Colombia. And it was an outstanding show. I love that. I watched that video many times and I still enjoy it. When I do those festivals, I have fun.
I understand. Right? Yeah.
I have fun. You know, like the video that we did, like it's been recorded by Rev TV in 2019. And it made it to all the Moroccan national TVs.
It's wonderful.
I want to thank Rev TV for that. They give us the videos and they say go ahead and use it. Then it's been translated by Canal Atlas, and Canal Atlas have a contracts with multiple national TVs, and it was broadcast all over Morocco. And people are calling, yes, and people like calling us from Morocco. We saw you on TV. That's awesome.
That's fantastic. And you mentioned what 2018 you did Algeria.
Yes, we did. In 2018 we did Algeria. 2019 Colombia.
Okay.
Did an outstanding show, to be honest with you. That was the best ever. I want to thank my friend Diana that she helped me put that show together.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Diana she's awesome.
Her and Angelica, the
yes.
two of them are forces to be reckoned with. I love them.
Yes.
I've met them. I've talked to them about their story, and they are, you know, you talk about people coming to this country and doing well. Those two, they just keep on moving. It's incredible.
You know, like those people that are proud of their origins, you want to make sure that when they love this country, they love it for sure. Because we are the ambassadors of our mother country here in the U.S. But when we go elsewhere, we are the ambassadors of U.S.
Yep.
I'm the one who's been talking about Revere. I'm the first one who wrote Revere in Arabic. And everybody started learning about Revere. Now Revere is well known in Morocco.
Wow.
I'm serious. And you could see like Revere is the destination #1 of Moroccans when they come to this country.
No kidding.
I'm serious. I'm serious about it. Like they come to Revere because of those events that we do. They know that there is a huge Moroccan community in the city. They know the support that we get. And
Well,
where you do, like when you are going to another country, you got to look for that support. The support is here.
exactly. And you know, we always try and promote Revere. I mean, geez, you're promoting it in the Middle East.
Exactly, yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes. That's what I do for work. I work as a global technical service manager,
Yep.
and they travel the world. And whenever they ask me, where are you from? I'm from Revere, you know, not Boston.
Yeah,
it's
Revere.
It's Revere,
Fantastic.
exactly. And they start talking about what is Revere, where is Revere, and we can have a conversation, and then they start Googling Revere,
Yeah.
and that's how we become ambassadors of the city of Revere.
So let's talk about this festival. You know, as you said, there's food, there's musical entertainment. I think you're going to have a fashion show as well.
Yes. Yes.
What other things am I missing? Of course, well, there's going to be the big raffle, and there you said there'll be some other prizes. I think.
Exactly. Yes.
Tell us a little bit about some of those details, things that people should look for when they go to this event this week.
So, as you mentioned, number one is food, right? Then music. The music that will be in the festival, it will be representing all regions in the city, in Morocco. Morocco is diverse. And I believe the director of the festival, Salwa Gardaf, because she's an artist, she did an awesome job putting the program together, and especially like representing these regions and cities in Morocco. One of the things that she's doing, she's putting like those dolls with different outfits representing different regions in Morocco. You know, there is 12 regions in Morocco,
Yep.
and that's what those dolls are representing. So that's one. The other thing is arts will be present, especially we have like some great painters. One of them is Abdelhati, is well known here in the city of Revere. He did the portrait for the mayor.
For the mayor,
Exactly,
I saw that.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I was
He
just
did
going to
it-
ask, is he the one?
He did that in, I believe, 2018.
think
Then
it
he did a portrait for the late mayor, Bob Hass.
Oh.
It's outstanding. It's an outstanding. His wife was in tears when she saw that we did honor Bob Hass in 2018, I believe, or 2019, and we have been doing like a tournament, a yearly tournament, and we give out $1,000 scholarship. It's called the Bob Hass Masser Scholarship. We do it every year. Although we didn't do the tournament last year because of the COVID, we still give out. We want to keep his life around, and we are very proud to be doing that.
It's a great memory to keep
Exactly.
going. He was a great man. You know?
Yeah. He was a great man. He did honor me in his life at the city council chamber, and it was a great memory for me. And that's the first time I get recognized in the U.S. by Bob Hass. So I wanna keep that promise, and I wanna do the same thing for him. Also, we are having like some. We are doing the raffle, and we have some great prizes. As I mentioned, there are 2 tickets to Morocco, free round trip. Also, we have a laptop, we have a tablet, we have a smartphone, and a lot of Moroccan souvenirs. So everybody probably will be taking something home.
That's great. And I saw you. If I remember right, you're going to have live music entertainment. You also are going to have a DJ, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
both. So always since we started, we have the DJ with us. But sometimes there are like the local artists that we are having. As I mentioned, Morocco is diverse. You can't. It's very hard to represent all of these regions with real life bands. You know, we did our best to bring people that will be singing different kind of music, but whatever we can't, the DJ will be playing it for us. That's the idea behind it.
Yeah. You know, I just an aside, I remember we've done a couple of cultural festivals in Beachmont, and usually when I'm putting together the playlist, I go out there and I kind of go peruse, you know, the Middle East, you know, for sort of some like current music and stuff like that. But
And they worked with you.
Classical.
Yes, I worked with you in the past, and I got you like a band from Morocco.
That's right. They were fantastic.
Yes,
They
that's great.
were great. That's right. We had the
It's
live
all about
entertainment as well.
diversity, inclusion, and getting along together. That's what it is. That's the purpose of all of those cultural activities that we do in the city. And when we honor other countries, we want them to be with us.
Yep.
We want them to do the same thing as we are doing. We want to have a Colombian day. We want to have like a Moroccan day. We want to have a Peruvian day. We want people to be proud of their origins because that's the strength of this country. It's
Yes.
coming from our diversity.
Yeah, yeah, and being proud of where you come from, but proud of where you're at too, right?
Exactly, yeah, yeah.
And when you're
Because
recognized for
how
that,
can
it's
you-
easy to do the other as well.
Exactly.
You
How can you have a present if you don't have a past?
know? Yes.
You know, you have to be proud of your past. That's what made me in here. That's what made me who I am. And I love this country the same way I love Morocco.
As you pointed out, it's the Moroccan American connection
Exactly.
to Revere. You know, there's Irish American, Italian American. Every country, is boom American.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
It's
and
built
that,
by diversity.
Remember where you're from, but also remember where you're at. And-
Exactly.
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 We were talking a little bit about funding and support earlier, and I also mentioned that, any one of these events, there's a lot of planning that goes into it. There are obstacles and some challenges to overcome. You want to talk about some of the things that, go bump in the night for you in planning these events?
Well, planning those events, it's a nightmare. It takes a long time to plan for them.
When do you actually start planning? Do you start the year
Usually
before,
like-
right after?
Usually, like you start planning like 3 months,
Okay.
but it's always in your head, like once we finish our festival, we start talking about we do like an evaluation of the festival. Then we keep talking about it the whole year, that video that Rev TV made for us.
Yep.
They keep playing it in Morocco.
Well,
Trust me.
it's like the football team. We're looking at the replays of the game
Yeah,
before to
exactly.
figure out where do I go from there.
Yeah. No, it's the good thing about what's cultural. You can watch it at any time. It's not like about a game. Who want to watch like the final of 1990 today?
Yeah.
But what's cultural, you could watch it at any time.
Oh yeah.
No,
that
and
was
you
talking
could
about
enjoy
in
it.
terms of planning, but yes. Yeah.
No, exactly. So what I'm probably like we started like 3 months. We did probably 11 weekly meetings that we did until now, and tomorrow we gotta have the final one. Then we'll cross our finger to see what's gonna happen on Saturday. But you talked about challenges. The biggest challenge that we have is the weather.
Oh yeah.
The weather is killing us. The weather is killing us. We don't know what to do. Until now, it looks like it's raining on Saturday.
I saw.
However, we did
possibly,
yes. However, we did a backup plan, and I want to thank Dr. Kelly for working with us. I want to thank the principal of the Willen Elementary School for allowing us to use their school as a backup plan, and like it's outstanding. Like we are not renting it, right? We are not renting it at this moment, but they are putting it on hold for us.
Yep.
So if we use it, we'll pay for it. If we don't use it, we are
Yep.
not paying for it, which is like it's a great thing to have. We want to do it outside, believe me.
So if I remember though, and that's an important thing to note, if there is rain or whatever,
It's gonna be inside.
it's going to be inside.
Yes.
Because I thought there was another date was proposed at one point.
Yes, during the planning and even in our flyer,
That's what I
there is
thought,
a
yes.
rain date,
Yep.
which is the 21st. But
28th. Yeah.
the
Oh,
no,
I'm
there is
sorry,
the 14th
21st. No,
and the
you're right,
21st, right?
Yes.
But the problem we learned from some of what's going on in the city, because I saw Shirley Ave Festival. They were doing like the cultural festival in there, and it was raining the first Thursday. Then they postponed it to the following week. Then it was raining again. Then they just postponed it. I learned from that. That's why, because it takes a lot of planning to put the event together. Then when you postpone it, you double the work.
Right, yeah.
Because you got to call all of those people that you told them come. You got to tell them don't come, stay home. Then after that, you got to start another advertisement for your event. It's just a nightmare.
crazy.
So we came up with this idea, and as I mentioned, Dr. Kelly did an outstanding job helping us together. In the last minute, we put this together, and the backup plan will be to be in the gym of
Okay.
the Willen School. We will use also the cafeteria. Perhaps we could use the auditorium as needed, but I don't think we're gonna need it because the band will be in the gym.
So going to those challenges and obstacles and whatever. So it's always the big question is, when do you make that call?
That's up to the director.
Okay.
I gave her some suggestions based on my past experience, but she's the one who gonna make that call. We will try to make it for the public. They don't have to worry about it
Yeah. Well, I
because
was gonna say,
it's gonna
for
be a
everybody
festival.
going,
Yeah.
right. You just show up that day.
Yeah.
It may be indoors, it may be outdoors.
Exactly, it's gonna happen. But whether we gotta do it outside or inside, that's gonna be a decision of the director. It's not gonna be an easy decision. We keep monitoring the weather every day. Last week when I checked the weather, it wasn't raining. It was shining on Saturday. Now it's raining. Let's see what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Exactly.
So as soon as probably once, maybe by Wednesday, we will be able to make that decision whether it's an inside or an outdoor event.
So looking ahead, you know, as you this is your 5th annual, and I'm not sure how far you plan ahead, but have you got thoughts about, you know, what things might you be moving towards or planning for that would come 2 or 3 years from now, or even next year for that matter? Any ideas on where you're going to go then?
Well, the biggest challenge for us, we just want to be, we just want to have a plan so we don't have to worry about the weather. If we have like a big place covered, it's going to be an outstanding place, and we can dream and we can plan as we want. But right now, this is what the limitations are, is the weather. As far as where this event gonna go, I want this to be for our kids. We are doing this for our kids, and the festival is the same age as my son. So once my son will be 18, he will be taking over.
I remember your son.
Yes. So we are
It's a bundle of
building.
energy.
Exactly. Yes. So we are building something for our kids. So once our kids grow up and they will see this is the 10th annual festival or this is the 20th, so at least they know that the Moroccan community have been doing something for them. You know, that's where I get my inspiration, because I want to have something for those kids, and I want them to be proud of the city that allowed them to celebrate their cultures without any limitations. I really appreciate the support that we get from the city. I get like a lot of comments from my friends that they are living in other states and cities. How do you do that? It's an outstanding. As I mentioned, it's not like a one-man show. It's the city is helping us to put those events together, and we have to acknowledge every single one of them.
Yep. And that is, I mean, you know, from the mayor on down, and particularly I think starting with him, you know, the importance of cultural diversity and celebrating culture and trying to help, you know, all the people who have emigrated to this country and particularly the city to get a leg up and to become, you know, contribute to be able to survive and enjoy their life, quality of life.
Exactly.
Really is what it comes down to. And the other part to this festival, and what came to my mind as you were talking, is identity. You know, I think back to the early days of the sand sculpting festival on Revere Beach. You know, and just the way yours started, it was a small event, 2 or 3 people, and over I think it's 15 years or 16 years now.
It's,
you know,
18 years.
18 years. Okay,
Yes.
there you go.
It started in 2003. That's the day I arrived to America.
No
Not
kidding.
to
Yeah.
America, to Revere. Because I came straight to Revere from Morocco, and they stayed here since that time. I think that's the first year when we had the festival. It was small. Then yesterday when I enjoyed the last event, even if we didn't have much artists, especially the international ones.
Because of COVID,
but it was
right.
exactly, yeah. But it was great as part of those kids' activities. I had so much fun with my son. It was outstanding, and I think it will get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, well, and to that point, and that's what I'm saying, everything starts small. And looking at your festival, you kind of look at that and what happened there. Everything evolves and it gets bigger and bigger. I mean, at one point we had over, I think, close to 1 million people.
Yes.
This year was smaller crowds because of COVID and all,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But each year it evolves, things get added to it,
Yes.
much the same as yours. But going back to what I was originally saying is that as that event grew and as more and more people came, it gave an identity to the city of Revere. As your cultural festival grows and more people come to it and there are more things to it and gets more and more recognition, the Moroccan American community's identity will grow as well.
Yes,
so I think that's
for
part of
sure.
where you're trying to go with it.
That's
yeah?
for sure. Actually, the festival right now is one. Actually, it's the biggest celebration. The Moroccan is the biggest. The Moroccan Festival is the biggest Moroccan celebration in New England. So, and that's where we are going for sure. Each year we make it better and better, but more importantly, this is not easy to organize because we are just a small group of people versus to the Sense Culture Festival. It's attracting artists from all over the world, also is attracting the biggest sponsors. We are getting in there, you know, we're trying, but those sponsors that gonna help us get in there, because if you look at the Sense Culture Festival and you see like how much fund they need to organize that, it's a lot, probably, yeah.
As you were saying that, I was just thinking, and you were talking about how Rev TV and the coverage of the festivals has all gone all the way to Morocco, and people in Morocco calling you. So maybe some superstar in Morocco will see this video and say, "I want to come to Rev next year."
Yes. We get those requests. We get those requests, but the problem is we don't have that fund that's gonna allow you to bring an artist from overseas. We tried last year to do it, but the problem, the COVID limitations, but maybe in the future we will be bringing artists from Morocco. We get those requests from our members, we get those requests from visitors and attendees of our festival. When are you bring us like some stars from Morocco? We will get in there. It's just the situation under this circumstances is a little bit difficult. It's a little bit challenging, and it doesn't allow us to plan that further. You know, like if you want to bring someone from Morocco, they need to get the visa. They need to have a place for them to stay in here. It takes a lot. It's a long process.
It is.
That may take longer than the period of time that it's taking us right now to plan for the event. But we'll get in there.
Anything else about the festival that you want to mention that I haven't covered at this point?
Actually, you said it all. I think we'll have like all the city officials will be coming. A lot of city officials will be there. We will be having the council of Morocco in New York, and also the Honorary Council of Morocco will be joining us that day, and it's a good time to have our officials, the Moroccan officials, meet the American officials. Probably because a while ago I was working on an idea of establishing a sister city of Revere in my hometown. And they worked with Mayor Arrigo. He was outstanding. He helped us out. We put a letter together. We sent it to the Moroccan mayor, but things didn't go well. You know, probably once those city officials and our officials, the Moroccan officials, get together and talk about stuff like that, it may make our job a little bit easier when we work in certain initiatives like that. I love this country the same way I love back home, and they want to give back to both countries. You know, I tried that, but it didn't work. Perhaps it may work in the future, but more importantly, I got a lot of support from the mayor to make that happen. At least we did our part, you know.
Yeah.
I spoke to the mayor. The mayor wrote the letter. We sent it to the people in Morocco, but it got stuck in there. Maybe one day that process may take place. The other thing that I would like to mention about this festival, we will be honoring Dimple. Dimple ran out for the simple reason because she's been leading the Revere Emergency Response Team. She's been leading the COVID-19 ambassadors. She did an outstanding job, and those are some of the young people that they are full of energy, that they are giving back to the city because they love the city. I believe, and that was not from me, by the way, it was from the COVID-19 ambassadors. They said, why don't you honor the COVID-19 ambassador? I said, why? It's a good idea. Why not? And they say, you know what? It's going to be too many of us. I believe if you honor Dimple Rana, we will be all happy.
Forgive me.
No problem. So they said that if you honor Dimple Rana, and we will be all happy. And I said, why I didn't think about this? Because I've been working with Dimple since that pandemic started, and I was in the emergency response team. We were meeting every single day. Then after that, we start meeting weekly.
I remember.
Then bi-weekly. Now we gotta go back to weekly.
The phone calls, yes.
And who knows? Maybe we gotta be meeting again on a daily basis.
I think it's a great choice. You know, your work, Dimple's work. Fatou is another one that comes to mind immediately. The work that you all have been doing, Diana and Angelica in the Latino community, along with a lot of other people, have done so much to make cultural diversity become real within the city. And she, I think, was one of the first ones working on that whole thing, and everything else kind of helped to evolve from that. I think the COVID ambassadors has been a great idea. I told somebody once that I really do think, and you may not, this is before your time, but Kevin White in the city of Boston introduced this concept of little city halls, where they used to have just one place to go, and then there were little city halls all around the city.
Yes.
Now we've got COVID ambassadors representing all different parts of the city, and to me, it was something akin to what they did in Boston, and I think it'll be great for the city going forward.
That's true. I believe when this started, the planning, and when I was like planning for my festival, then I was looking at the COVID cases and all of that stuff, and they saw that the mayor said that we will get to 70% by the end of July. That's why we came up with the idea, let's do it in August. Maybe the city will be mostly vaccinated around that time. Then I start thinking, a lot of people didn't want to do the vaccine. How can we get to those numbers? And I believe we surpassed the 70% in the vaccination. Yes, I think we surpassed that. And because of those COVID ambassadors, that's why, because they were knocking doors, they were going all over the places to get people vaccinated. The other thing that we will have in our festival is, you mentioned Fatou, Diana, and Angelica. We are working on another project with Revere History Museum. What happened, we, as a human rights commissioner, we received a complaint about you remember that? Probably you heard about it.
Well, I'm on the board for the Historic Society.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you for bringing that up. So you, by the way, you are doing an outstanding job.
Well,
but no,
it's a team.
I mean, to be honest with you, Ed, you can't represent the Moroccan community.
Right.
You can't represent the Colombian community, but at least you got. It's the same thing for me. Like when I try to do the festival, I get those complaints from Moroccans. You know, why didn't you represent this region of Morocco? Why didn't you represent that region from Morocco? But I can represent only the region where I am from, right? I'm from Casablanca. So what I do, probably I'm representing my place. But it's, you have to step up and represent your region. What I do, it's I go through the licensing process. I get you a place where you can celebrate the Moroccan culture. I get you like the police, the fire department, all of those licenses. Then it's up to you to represent your culture. It's the same thing for you guys. You did an outstanding job coming up with the building. You put like the most important stuff. And as you mentioned, you get everything from donors, right?
Yeah.
Those are just donations from...
member dues and with grants and stuff like that. But to your point, and the whole thing about the cultural thing, and you know, some people will look at something like that as kind of a slap in the face. And I said this was a silver lining. I said the silver lining was that we have been talking about wanting to do that for so long, because not only the Historic Society, but every other nonprofit or cultural organization within the city, whether it be a country-based culture or just, you know, like the Lions, the Moose, the whatever. The part of the problem with that is that they don't represent the full diversity of the community. And what we need to do is to entice the rest of the culture within the city to participate in those organizations in order for those organizations to continue to grow and to continue to survive. And until you make them relevant to the cultural communities, it's not going to happen. And so now we're able to do that at the Historic Society, and I'm looking forward to seeing those events.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So what's happening, once I heard that, I wrote a grant, and then we received like $6,000, $5,000 from the High Market Foundation, then another $1,000 from Resist. But the biggest challenge is to find the people who want to work with us to create that multicultural section, which goes back to the same point. People, they have to step up. And the mayor was helping us to reach out to people. Finally, we got representatives from the country of Colombia. We got representatives from the country of Peru, Guatemala, Brazil, Cambodia, and of course Morocco. And we still have some funding. I believe we gave some mini grants to those communities to help us create that multicultural section. Each person will be representing their country. No limitations. We don't tell them this is how we want you to do it. This is your space. You gotta use it. You know, do whatever you want with that space. And also, they will be with us during the Moroccan Festival.
That's fantastic.
So we will showcase that work that we did it together. And this is not about Moroccans or Algerians or Cambodians or this. It's about diversity. It's about inclusion. It's about respecting each other. It's about valuing each other.
And one of the other things I've always said is that when you look at each of the cultural communities within the city, every community needs to be able to grow in their strength and identity. And once they have a general strength and identity and security within the city, then they can start to reach out to other groups and participate in other groups.
Exactly.
So that's what you got to do, is you got to build up the strength, the security. We could be going on with this all night long. But keeping track with time, once again, we're talking about the fifth annual Moroccan Festival in the city of Revere, which will be taking place again this Saturday from 1 to 7. I think you heard Rachid say it's going to be rain or shine. If it rains, we'll be indoors. If it's nice and sunny, we'll be outdoors. But it's going to be a great time either way. So come on down Saturday to the Wayland School Park and enjoy yourselves at the festival. Rachid, it's been a pleasure. I want to do more of these, and I know we will.
For sure. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
And if I could, I want to say assalamu alaikum, my friend.
Wa alaikum assalam. That's great.
Until we see each other maybe this coming Saturday or again, take care.
Take care. Thank you.
Hi, can you please tell us your name?
I'm Camila Lopez.
Nice to meet you, Camila. Thank you so much for showing us this beautiful display of Moroccan culture. Now, are you Moroccan yourself?
No, I'm actually Colombian.
Oh, that's so nice. Did they reach out to you to come, and what did you say? What was your reaction when they asked you to partake in the Moroccan Festival?
Since the guest country is Colombia, they decided to reach out to a Colombian dance group called Balcon. And my dancing instructor reached out to me and said if I was interested in being a bride, to show the Moroccan culture, and I was really excited about it, especially since I love Moroccan culture and their traditions, and it was just really exciting.
Well, we were really excited to see you and loved it and enjoyed your performance. Thank you so much for showing us this beautiful tradition from Morocco.
Yeah, thank you.